afternoon, everybody. Or good evening, everybody. Sorry, one second. Sorry. How long am I supposed to talk for?
We 2 hours. We finish at 5, so I think 2 hours thereabout.
I'm supposed to talk for.
But you know that there's questions, so people will definitely ask you questions as well. So
Okay.
you need to talk for 2 hours. Thank you.
All right. So first of all, I don't do slides. Sorry, I see some people are disappointed. I also don't do very structured conversations. So as I'm talking, you can write your questions that you ask. I'm not going to talk for so long. So you are going to ask questions because the topic they've given me is not a slide question or a slide topic, right? So I'm supposed to talk about the talent acquisition and management. Also, please pardon my glasses. I know some people find it rude in the legal profession. I don't care, but I don't like light, so it's a bit too much for me. If you're offended, peace be unto you. We're talking about the entertainment industry, and the bedrock of the entertainment industry are the talent, right? They are the ones that produce the products that we trade, we exploit, we exchange, we transfer. Talent is basically the human capital of the entertainment industry. And I'm going to break it down into 2 types of talents. So you have the creative talents and you have the executive talents. So the creative talents are the guys that, your recording artists, your performing artists, the songwriters, the disc jockeys, your music producers, your visual artists, your graphic designers, your actors, your directors, your music video directors, your film, directors, producers, film producers, and the list goes on. So basically, anybody that is involved in the creative output for the industry, as regards to the products that we are commercializing, as to why we have an industry. The executive talent refers to those that operate in the value chain of the industry on the business side. So you have the lawyers, the entertainment lawyers, you have the entertainment accountants, you have the financial investors in the entertainment industry, you have the, let me see, who else again? How many of us here agree, because there's a global argument on if sports is part of the entertainment industry. Yeah, so there's a global argument that it's not, that it's supposed to be separate. So sometimes I like to check the temperature before I do that, but I include sports in entertainment. So, so your sports journalists, the media people, these are the executive talents of the industry. Now, how do you go about talent acquisition? There are different methods to talent acquisition, and it depends on the value chain that you're functioning in. So I'm going to pick out the film, and I'm going to pick out music publishing or music distribution, right? So for a music distributor, example of your music distributor in a digital age that we are right now, you have 1RPM, you have Empire, you have Vidia. Now, and so the types of executive talents you find in a distribution company, you find the licensing manager, which sometimes are lawyers. You find, we call them account managers. Basically what they do is they project manage. You have creative directors, you have the country managers. Now, so if you are a licensing manager working for 1RPM or working for Boomplay, for example, your job is to have conversations with the creative talents. In this instance would be either the owner of the sound recording or the owner of, which can either be the label or the artist. Now your job as a licensing manager is to approach that person and convince them to give you the required rights that you need for your platform. In this situation, as a licensing manager for a music distribution company, the rights that you need are master's rights, sometimes non-exclusive sync rights. So if I'm speaking to, say, Peter, Peter is a gospel artist, and I am the licensing manager for 1RPM, and I want Peter to distribute his music with 1RPM. Now, the expertise of talent acquisition is basically a soft skill. It's not something you teach. It's not something you say, oh, A is B. If you go through this route, if you do this, you do that, you get that. No. It's different strokes for different folks, but there are basic principles that I've applied throughout my career. One is to know the talents that you're speaking with. Now, the reason why you have to know is because people are of different knowledge and different exposure. So if I'm talking to Peter that has already released 3 albums, has won Eddie's Award, I'm not going to go to Peter and sit him down and start explaining what is master's rights. I'm going to have a conversation from a business level, even if I'm a lawyer, from a business beneficial level to Peter, because he's gotten to a point in his career where it has to be for exchange of value. It's not that I'm helping you or you are helping me. It's a situation of, this is my value, that is your value. If we exchange it, this is the greater value, right? So the way you approach a talent is dependent on the level of exposure that the talent is, right? So you can't approach. So let me give you an example. Yesterday, which is also part of knowing your talent, the person that you want to speak to. Yesterday, I'm in the middle of this negotiation for something that it's a social cause, and there was terms and conditions put out, and they said if you want to join this, these are the terms and conditions that you're going to submit yourself to. If you are shortlisted, you go to the next level. Now, this shortlisted set of people come on the table. They are given a contract, and we're saying you can't sign, don't sign a contract without a lawyer. So we said, all right, go and have conversations with your lawyers. We're going to give you a fund where you can access to talk to lawyers, because some of you can't afford lawyers. Now, the lawyers come on the call to have a negotiation conversation, right? First of all, I'm going to give and this is me on this end. I am supposed to acquire the talents of artists, right? New artists. This is you on the other end. You are managing that talent, but you are trying to get him into a situation that advances his career. Note the key word is new. Now, when we're in that meeting of, right, you have potential in that talent, and I want to invest. I want to take 90% of the risk and put into your talent to unearth the potential. You, on the other end, your psychology should be, this is an opportunity for this, talent of mine. However, I'm going to create the safest exit possible for him should things go wrong. However, I recognize that I do not have bargaining power because it's a 90-10 risk situation. So the lawyers that came on the call came to be talking to me like it's land that they want to buy. Right? So first things first is you are arguing English. Right? You're saying, oh, why are you using investing instead of engaging? And I kid you not, I spent 15 minutes explaining why, at a point, I was like, excuse me, sir, why are you using Webster's Merriam Dictionary definition for me when I have defined, this is background, we've not even gotten to the element of the contract. I was just defining what my client does, and he's telling me that no, your client should be engaged, not invest. I'm like, so if I put money into something, what is it called? Oh, then he goes and he says, I don't know if it's first of all, it's like, his opening statement was, I don't know if it's a lawyer that drafted this agreement, but the English here is not correct. I said, fine. I mean, in my head, I was already like, yeah, I'm not signing your talent. Like, it's fine, but I will engage you just for the sake of engagement, right? So I said, then it goes on. Now this is, we're looking at a situation of the executive talent, which is me, the lawyer on the other end. He is dealing with the creative talent, right? So it's now, all right, dude, so what else do you want to change? What other sentence is not right? So I ask him, I'm like, please, do you want to also help us, redraft the agreement since we couldn't get lawyers to do it? He said, oh, did you find that disrespectful? No. It wasn't disrespectful. It was just meant to be. So after at 15 minutes, I was like, yeah, your time is up. So I said, so do you have anything tangible to argue in this agreement? So no, so we were now stuck on advance. His own definition of advance was because I wasn't giving the artist physical cash, I shouldn't say advance. And I'm like, okay, brother, in our industry, right? I don't know which industry you're coming from, but in our industry, advance is non-cash and cash. In this situation, it's a non-cash advance. So at this point, I was just like, okay, my clients were on the call and I was like, guys, I'm tapped out. I would, however, recommend that we don't sign this talent. And I went off the call. Simply put, the lawyer on the other end did not know what he was coming for. It just looked like he just came out like, okay, they've given me one small change. All right, let's go. What are we arguing today? Literally was how he came into the meeting. Because if common sense had prevailed, first of all, it would, which is what I do as a person. First things first, I look at who is the other talent executive on the other end I'm speaking to. Is the person my friend? What's the person's position? Is the person a hard negotiator? Is the person a soft negotiator? Does the person have bargaining power? Like, for example, there are some of my clients that they are superstars. So if you're arguing some things with me, I'll just tell you it's a take it or leave it situation. Because why? My client is a superstar. So all these things I are saying, I know the worth of my client. Now, if you are coming to come and negotiate with me with my superstar client, and I'm just going to be looking at you and like, do you want it or you don't want it? Like, do you want it or you don't want it? Right? But if it's for a completely new artist that I'm representing, it's the deepest humility. You see my language, like, I trust you are well. Did you sleep well? Are you okay? Is everything okay? All right, thanks for your professionalism. Oh, because at this point, I know that the creative talent that I have doesn't have the bargaining power. The entertainment industry is purely on, and the sad thing, not the sad thing, but the interesting thing, because it's also interesting, is that it's a lot of people don't know how to value IP. So your negotiations are, like you are I'm sorry to say, it's like you want to be pricing fish in the market. There's this, if you understand the value of IP and at what point your creative talent is, you know how to approach each negotiation. So that's the first thing. Know your clients, right? Now, the second thing for me is find the pain point or find the end goal of what that talent wants. So some of you will be arguing, oh, I don't want 20 years for this person. But the person that you are arguing for wants to be there for 20 years. So your question now will be, okay, if you want to be there for 20 years, how do I create the safest exit for you? Even if now your sense is not opening to see that 20 years is not working out, right? That's your job and which is a lot of things I find with new lawyers, first of all, and also when you become, when you get to a certain point in your career and you see that people just want to argue with you because it's Foza that is on the other end. And it's just like, but the interest of your clients is suffering because you are trying to prove that. I'm like, do you know the number of contracts that I see in a day? First of all, I look at like 1,000 in a year. So I'm looking at a contract and I know that this is a standard contract. There's nothing extra to be added. It's very fine to tell your client that this is good to go. It doesn't remove anything, I promise you, from your expertise that you do not correct A in a document. I swear. Because a lot of people, and first of all, you need to understand that the industry is a time-pressed. See, I've had situations where it takes, say, 2 days to export a film, right, from its raw form to the final form. And I'm in the middle. First of all, my wonderful film people will call you 2 hours to film premiere and say, we don't have music license, so alpha, right? Then you're not like, you can't tell your client, I will never tell my client that I can't get it. I'll say, okay, give me an hour, let me go and check. First things first, I go and check, who do I know here? I call the lawyer, alpha, guy, how much do you want? We go back and it's set like, okay, I'm going to send an email with everything we agreed on. However, because of crunch time, right, the agreement can't come until the premiere is over, right? But let's use this, and this is global. It's globally. Like you see a lot of syncs that they'll tell you, this episode is going on Ellen DeGeneres in the next 2 days, and they are talking to 16 different publishers, and you have 1% in the song. Then you now decide that no, that this letter is not correct. It cannot go. I'm not approving it because you just want to show that what, like, but at that point you are frustrating everybody. So the thing is, what is the end goal for your clients? What does your clients want? Many of us don't even ask, what does the talent want? See, new talents, right? If I'm talking with a new talent, the first thing I said, you will make sacrifices to get to what you want. Because first of all, for an artist, you want to blow. How many of us here can do an estimate of how much Ashake has spent this year alone to blow? Wild guess. Nope. Just wild estimate guess. Minimum $250,000. And that's me being very conservative. Minimum. Then, Olamide is sitting here and you are the lawyer for Ashake. And Olamide say, Alaye, this is just hypothesis. It's not, don't go and quote me anywhere. It's hypothesis. And Olamide is like, dude, do you want to join YBNL? And you are Ashake's lawyer. And you'll be like, nope, if you don't see agreement today, you're not signing. You think the boy wants to... Like, so the guy is just looking at you like, Alaye, I get it. I see. So let me give very real life example. I have this very big client, one of my very first clients, and it was in America. This was one of the about to be. We didn't even know, whether it was going to be the biggest Afrobeat song or whatever. And my phone starts ringing at like 2 a.m. Right? So I'm like, what's going on? Pick up the call, conference with my other partner and everything. It's like, oh, there's a contract in front of us right now, and it's either we sign now or, we're yanked off this record. I was like, what kind of shotgun processes? I was about to say, no, you have to give me 48 hours, you have to do... My client said, Alaye, if your own doesn't want to be better, my own wants to be better. So on the call like that, while I'm reading, I said, okay, sidebar. Call and say, dude, this agreement says that you are waiving off all your rights, right? But look at it this way. You waive off your rights, you collect this X amount up front. You still have your publishing, but on the masters you don't have anything. But if you give it off, you have the opportunity to, triple your IP value in the next five months times 10. It's like, I said, yeah, we went back and forth. I said, okay, you can ask them for this, you can keep this relationship, blah, 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 but sign the agreement. This was done under 1 hour at 3 a.m. because they are on American time. Me, I'm on Nigerian time. Now, in that situation, trust me, and most times I don't blame us lawyers. It's what Nigerian law school taught you people. Because it just, that's another separate issue. Because I went to Babcock University and I'll look at Professor Shorikpo and tell him that what you're saying, sir, it did not follow. And I'm saying that, and I'm not saying that because I now know that somebody will fail me in intellectual property or in thought. We'll sit down, we'll argue, we'll have a conversation, we'll reach a logical conclusion, and we'll move. And it allows you to reason. But Nigerian law school teach you just be aggressive with life. That's what they teach you. That's why some of us will be getting mad too. Because you see the questions, you're like, why am I running mad for these questions? It's because of just aggression. And you carry that aggression, you now come into real life. And like, you see some people's emails. I've had, a number of times that my clients will call me and apologize and say, Foza, please don't be upset. I know the other lawyer on the other end. It's like, why? It's not land law. We're not using jazz for each other. It's just simply and this thing, I know it's funny, right? But the industry where, the entertainment industry is a very relationship-based industry. Very, very relationship-based industry. The guy that you fight with today, right? I said there are people that they will see my email. Like, first of all, I will first send you first email. I trust you are aware. I send you second one. I trust you are aware. Third one, I trust you are aware. The fourth one is now when you now see me in my full action. Alaye, I've been warning you. Then you now come, oh, you're a fighter. Mm-hmm. But if you see outside, I can't say this. I wanted to say something. I'm not going to say it. I see you outside. Take shots. Show up. Are you doing okay? Move on. But some of you carry the aggression and be fighting because you are fired anytime. The talents in this industry, they're even very fickle. First of all, you hear things like, oh, you're a local lawyer. You can't function globally. So they first sideline you. But I have clients that are global superstars. Like, every day I'm reading French law, or I'm reading UK law, or I'm reading American law, right? Because they're just like, well, if we get lawyers on the other end, Foza still has to look at it. Because no matter how the world is burning, if I say, hello, what's the pain point here? What do you want? Oh, I want 20% of the publish. Oh, what do you want? You want $10,000? All right. Can we meet at 7.5? Can we do at 19.5? Fine? Okay. Calm down. Drink water. Just drink water. Oh, no. Okay, now you're moving too fast. Legally, we feel drag this thing. But, may we reason like this. And don't get me wrong, there are some people that are just complete idiots, and you meet them with idiocy, right? There's a current matter now that is in court. I said, I'm giving you 40, me like this, I'm giving you 40 days. Even after that 40 days, I'll still tell my client, don't let us go to court, don't let us go to court. Until I was just on my own. And the lawyer on the other end decided that wanted to be stupid on Twitter. I'm like, dude, where do I know you from? If I see you outside, I can't even recognize you. So why are you coming to come and attack my private life but because you are overzealous? That's why I'm just like, and the issue could have been easily resolved by just saying, okay, you messed up. This guy just wants sorry. So see, and that's the beautiful thing about creative people. The beautiful and the bad thing is that because they work from the product that they are selling comes from a deep intellectual space. There's tendency for madness with them, right? And there's high emotions. So you, as the executive talent, you are the balance to the creative talent. A creative talent will come and sit down and say, they paid him 60 million to come and perform. He just say, I don't like the outside. It doesn't allow for my creative expression. It doesn't allow for my creative expression. So therefore, I no do the contract. And you as lawyer will not say, according to section... At that point, I've had a situation where we sit down with the client. Chauffeur mommy, you see water you want? Bring cold water. What do you want? Bad babes? Bring the bad babes. I like this contract. As we did like this, you guys do it. So what's the problem? Foza, I don't like the smell. Smell? Bring air freshener. I can't explain. When you not tried all the emotional petting, I don't like Foza now because of you. You know I end this. But I like if you work out this 60 million a year, can't we refund? We can't refund. Remember that house you bought? We did transfer. Emotion contract. Foza now because of you. Now because of you. As it's going, foolish boy. Go and perform. But they don't teach you that. I can't put that on a slide to teach you. It's really never about the letters of the contract. You want to be successful at talent acquisition and management. It's not about the letters of the contract. Also, there's a huge thing about integrity. Your yes is your yes, your no is your no. Some people, you would have argued. I've had one email thread for one negotiation, and they're like 300 emails of back and forth. And almost like 60 variations of a contract. And this is a contract like almost 60 pages. Of course, somebody is going to have error one place, right? So there's a chain of people, like 4 people will review, then I do final review, and stuff. But some of you, because we don't have integrity, and you feel like, and that's what happens when we go into litigation. You never argue the substance. It's technicality. Oh, they did not file this one. This did not happen. Never the substance of, and that's why our precedence in this area of law is lacking. Because we dwell. But don't worry. Those of us that know, we're dealing with you people already. I've seen some, we have a couple of cases in court, and they're trying to use technicality. As they're bringing it, to give it to them, but go back home. On the substance, you cannot argue. But on that technicality, you cannot argue it also. Because I'm just looking at you that, instead of you to just admit that, okay, let's find a resolution. No. You want to be a son. And you just do rubbish. So you carry that litigation behavior and come into transactional business. Me that I'm sitting under AC and I'm chilled. You are shouting. Why you? Just calm down, brother. Nobody's fighting with you. It's business. Either you do or you don't do. Entertainment law or entertainment lawyers are purely transactional. And the reason why, if you check in Yankee, the most successful executive talents are lawyers. Because You are the vortex for the whole industry. It's you film people who come and meet. It's you the actor who meet. It's you the financier who meet. It's you the artist who meet. It's you the record label owner who meet. So if you're a vortex, why are you not going to be a connector? Why do you want to be a fighter? And the only way to be a connector is when you have integrity. If your client says, oh, I'm coming into this industry, I want to be a shark, e.g., Chinese people, they just want to enslave the industry. If you're conscious, if you're an enslaver by nature, work with them with integrity and be the best enslaver. But everybody in the industry, and the industry is very small, everybody in the industry will know that, anything, any document that comes from that guy, check it with 100 eyes. If you decide that, okay, I want to be a fair person, I want to be, meanwhile, I'm not here to come and check your morality. That's between you and your God and your deathbed. It's not me, right? So if you say you want to be fair, you want to be this, that, right? It's like, do that and do that well. So that when people see that, the agreement is coming from this person, even when you make mistakes, people are like, the other person will be like, all right, honest mistake, it can be rectified. It makes life easier for you and your artists. I've had situations, international deals, people want to sign, and the first person they call to check the integrity of people are the lawyers. So I get phone calls, or we're drinking somewhere, and I'm just like, Foza, how far now? You know this person? That if I do, Foza, I'm not talking. And that's how people pick who's going to be. That's how the brand manager will say, oh, okay, I want to work with this person as an ambassador because the lawyer that we trust, has said that, okay, this person is good to go. And the reason why they trust you as a talent executive, as a lawyer, is because, if Kasala to boss, 9 out of 10 times, you're the one that is going to bring them out of it. So if I tell my client and say, this actor you want to sign, or this artist you want to sign, I cannot deal with their problem. Sign at your own peril. Can't employ another lawyer to do. You're like, this one that Foza is rejecting, we don't want. And it's not out of wickedness. It's just like, you have stressed me before. I don't intend to be stressed again. Especially if the stress is not paying me. It's not beneficial for all of us. So, integrity. Because when your talent knows that you're someone that can be relied on, and when you can also rely on the talent, because you do a lot of deal makings based off of your own relationship or the way you approach things for your client. And if you say that, don't worry, like just before here, I was arguing force majeure clause with a client. And I said, I can't. She said, oh, you have to remove it. I said, I cannot remove force majeure. However, I can tell you that the talents that I know, it will never be late. And except earthquake happens and this thing open, it will not come for that show. But this talent that I know, I'm vouching for, but I can also not remove that force majeure clause. This is a 40 million naira deal, and I'm just like, dude, if this is going to be a deal breaker, let it be a deal breaker. But that force majeure, I understand your fears in life, but I cannot remove it. I'm like, don't worry. Have you worked it out before? No, I said, hey, it's the beginning of a long life relationship, lifelong relationship. After like 5 minutes, okay, Foza, I'm just going to do this because you said. I said, don't worry. And I called my clients. Don't go and disgrace me. They'll not disgrace your name outside. This show, make sure you are in Lagos 2 days before. I don't want to hear they held your passport. So they did, please. Okay. And 2 weeks before I will start calling. Hello, Shodidele, when is your flight? Are you coming to Lagos? Because as I've already given someone my word on behalf of that client, it's also my job but it's not also my job, because some of you say they're not paying, but me, I go the extra mile of checking to ensure that my integrity is intact, because it's also very important to me. So we've said know your clients, know the pain points, integrity. Then value, right? The IP value. Because it's the talent, and this is always very tricky, because it's an intangible property. So if you as a lawyer, you don't know the worth or the value of your client, you are either going to undersell, which the industry will like, and you'll be like, how much do you think Ashake is charging for show now? Wide guess. What? Alright. See? So if you were representing Ashake, right? I've had situations where even the managers of the talents don't exactly know how much, the talent is worth at a particular time. But it's very, very important. You can do IP evaluation either using income-based approach or market value approach or accounting approach, whatever fits the shoe, or however you guys want to value it. But Ashake by December will probably be doing 15 to 20. So imagine you're the lawyer on the other end and someone brings a $10,000 shoe in March, and the person was trying to lock down Ashake for December. But you know that, by March, you already had 3 singles that had already entered. 1, 2, 3. So prediction is that album will drop, meaning that the value will go up times 10. Because another 3 songs will bang from the album. So the value will go from 7 times 10. Okay, we reduce it by -5 because of this. Like, do the permutations. I'm like, all right, this contract shouldn't be less than this, or these are the things that should be included, or these are the values that should be exchanged. You cannot do that if you don't understand the IP value of the talents that you're negotiating. Same thing goes for an actor. Same thing goes for, the DJ. Same thing goes for the music producer. Same thing goes for, songwriters. Same thing goes for instrumentalists. Same thing goes for session musicians. So the fact that I know that, okay, for example, now one of the talent acquisition situation. Let's say you're a music distributor and you want to acquire an artist on your platform. The first thing everybody will go and check is your stream numbers, because you're trying to do the valuation. So the music distributor is coming with his own value, his own preconceived value of your artist. I, the lawyer, am now coming to be arguing English instead of arguing with numbers and arguing with, you can't value my artist at $50,000, because if a distributor, for example, if a distributor is offering, or a publisher is offering you $10,000 as an advance, conveniently there's $40,000 sitting down somewhere that they know that they can collect within the next 18 months. That's why they are offering you $10,000. But you're not going to know that, and the only thing you'll be arguing is, why do you want the social media? No, don't use the social, and you're just like, this is your pain point, all right, remove social media. However, the real value you're supposed to argue about, you're not arguing because you don't understand the value of the talents that you're working with. So for me, those 4 things are the basic and most universal points in terms of acquisition of talents. Now, to talent management, it's basically just patience and the grace of God. Like I always say, I'm sorry, I see some creative in the house, but it's not going to stop my mouth from saying what I need to say. Every creative person is a bastard. Sorry, exception. Jesus. Hey! And I think maybe we need to ask God as they were giving them such creative gifts. God just said, just remove this sense. Because sometimes when they come into their full elements, you are just like, how does this make any form of sense to you? But that's the beauty of it. You see, and as you progress as lawyers with your talents, you cannot be operating like the same talent you saw at Ojuelegba. Imagine you saw him and you picked him out, you started pro bono. Then you now want to, when the guy is now, standing in front of 1 million people and they are shouting, Iwolo Gboju, and all the girls are throwing bra. Then you as lawyer, you are still talking to him like he's in Ojuelegba. They will fire you. They will fire you. So you as the talent executive, you need to move with the mentality of the superstar. I have one artist that I'm very invested in. I'm managing, everyone. I said, let's go, let's travel, don't worry. He said, Foza, this money am I owing? I said, don't worry, this one is me, I pay, let's go outside, let me change your environment, let me just see, because you are going to blow. I know you are going to be a global superstar. I want to see how much of a bastard you are so I can prepare in advance. Different environment, different experiments. I saw some behaviors. One day we had a fight. Unknown to him. He doesn't know that no matter how much you fight from that, you cannot divorce me. So he's shouting me to shout. In the evening, I just says, where are you? He says, I said, okay, let's go there. Took him to encourage the vices that he engages in. I started having a conversation. Foza, I don't like what you do. I said, me too, I don't like what you do, but now you and I together. We die on this pit. They said, now comes back later, Foza, man, when I blew, I know say I go fight with you. I said, no worry, me too, I did for a house. No worry. I said, but if I do anything to you, just know, say, now temporary madness. But now you and I said, no worry. In my mind, I'm just like, I know my own end goal. You too, you know your end goal. Your own end goal is you want to be a superstar. My own end goal is I want to feed my family. So this investment that I'm doing, one day I know you will wake up and be like, screw you, get out. But it's my job. The person with they say it's their right brain, that me, I have left brain. It's working. So we balance each other out. And we manage your situation. How many of you have ever seen, a celebrity's rider? You see maybe like 2 packs of Mentor, 3 packs. There was one artist that came to Babcock and he included 3 babes. And, Igbo, I was like, hello, sir. You are coming to a religious school. That cannot happen. He came, he said, he's not coming down. That where are his 3 babes? I said, sir, we're not running a brothel. It's not, he said, no, if he doesn't see the 3 babes, I promise you, and I kid you not, the 3 babes showed. And he got on the stage, and everybody was screaming and dying. But they did not know. This guy was at the backstage. We brought him from Lagos. We paid his full money. He was in the backstage. We've said, as students, so if you come to Bangkok, you are putting us in trouble. Don't smoke it, but don't do. I was in 500 level, meaning that anything that happens, I can be expelled. Lawyer, because we want to give artists, students show. Students that they'll still insult you when you go back, that you stole their money, their fees. This guy sat down. That's why I opened the boat that came out and met me too. I was high. But, I was already saying, my contract. The manager said, dude, contract it or you want to contract. If you don't bring this nigga what he wants. We went in search of 3 babes. And those 3 babes show. It's not like he just saw the 3 babes, he boosted his confidence. And they were like, oh my God. We're like, let's go, let's do the show. I was like, that's when I should have known that my foray into this industry was going to be problematic. But no, I said, no, I'm going to die here. I'm going to this industry. But just saying, like, there's so much, as professionals, we see it as weird behaviors. Like, why are they doing this? See, the only time you see me wearing suits is if maybe I was going to meet the head of BOI, or I was going to meet, even Tony William said his jeans are where I'm meeting, if he's coming to our creative side. Because, first of all, you cannot be wearing 3-piece suits and be talking to Whiskey that just came back down from O2 and they're shouting, Machala. Then you are like this, oh, Whiskey, you need to sign this agreement. You think it's not going to answer you. First of all, it's not even going to tell you the truth about anything. So you are arguing with somebody you don't know. See, more times in terms of dispute resolution, 90% of the record label fights that I settle is that, the artist is disrespecting the boss, or the artist is eyeing the boss's babe, or the artist is, talking to the wife rudely, or so you are arguing. No, it's 3 years. No, you're not supposed to come out. You cannot see solution to that dispute because you are arguing and mediating the wrong thing, and you will never know the root of the problem if you are so stuck up that they cannot open up to you, right? So it's like you are fighting a lost cause. Then they say, that lawyer, very foolish lawyer, it doesn't know work. Simply because you don't understand the soft skill that creative people are bastards and you have to move on the same level of bastardry. Because if we did, see, you know the number of times that we are sitting down, chilling, there's a party by office, Friday evening, you just call, Alaya Fana Buluwa, oh, I did office, okay, my baking here, okay, call, set up this deal outside, everybody's gisting, says, Alaya, that deal we got signed now, no, Foza, no, now me go deal with them, no worry, no, Alaya, my 10%, you are disrupting it too. So, it's but Foza, no, money the one now, so how much do you need? Money for what? It can be as silly as move a change motor me now. As I'm going on the, I'm mimicking one of my clients. That's really stuck, foolish boy. He goes, Foza, Tiba, whatever. That they should know me. Do you know? I'm like, that's what you want? He said, I'm not signing there. So I know that you sign this endorsement deal, right? It's times 3 or times 4 your IP value. But I cannot communicate it to you because in your mind, you don't understand the value. That's the artist. The artist doesn't understand the value of how coming together with this brand is going to exponentially increase his financial success. So he's saying things like, they have to include Lexus in my this or this SUV. So at that point, will I tell him, oh, Lexus, why are you talking like a madman? No, you want Lexus? Okay, I call the other people, hello. The hospitality of my client. I'm not going to tell them that he wants Lexus. The hospitality of my client has to be 5-star. Oh, no. We're going to define 5-star. 5-star is that my client likes 2 king-size beds. And, there has to be, you don't call it babes anymore. You call it, you say, escorts. High travelers. Right? Because, and you are laughing. I'm telling you, but at the end of the day, the thing is, have you increased the value of your client? And this thing is literally knowing how to manage these people. Because the way talents breeze through lawyers, I don't used to go and look for them. They just come. So when you are coming, it's like you first, and the only reason I can do that is because I've done my work. If you are new and you want to adapt that strategy, but it's like everybody knows that Foza will fight for you to the end. She will get you what you want. But both of you go to fight steady. So they know that, okay, she's not yes man, no, she's not this thing. Because my own tactics of dealing with and managing them is different. And I tell them to their face, you're a bastard, I'm a bigger bastard. So align. So it's mutual respect, but they know that at every point in time. And it's like, my client is becoming global, and I still only know Nigerian laws, or I only have interaction with Nigerian lawyers. How is that going to benefit? Of course, when they get to France and they call, Foza, I have immigration problem. What's going on? I cannot quickly call my network and say, please, can you help me meet up my client at so place, blah, 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 there's a problem. And that's what I do. Like, that's why I'm a retainer, so I'm going to call and be like, in Germany, okay, this person will link you up and help you. And you're a problem solver. But if you're in Nigeria and they call you and say, immigration problem, what are the laws? You will lose the talent too. You will lose the talent. So this is why I say that lawyers are vortex and connectors. How you use, when I'm charging what I charge, as they're arguing and you want to start pricing, I just tell you, just know you don't have access to this person, you don't have access to that, you don't have access to this, If you just want me to lawyer, I lawyer. There are two associates there, they are just speed call. But the fact that you want me to have an interaction on your behalf, we pay the money. There's no argument. All right. But so that's how understanding and managing, the talents that you work with.
Business. All right. So this is what this is. I'm going to put it here. So now, let us go and talk about cocktail parties. Oh, the slides are not up. Okay. So can I get the next slide, please? Next slide. All right. So even like something like this is an opportunity to network. There are also cocktail parties that you go to where there'll just be, drinks, small chops. Apparently, it's only Nigerians that call it small chop. They're called hors d'oeuvres. So you have your hors d'oeuvres, you have your drink. So I'm going to kind of tell you how that works. Some of us, we get intimidated when we walk into a room. So as soon as you come into the room, just pause at the entrance, look around, identify someone you can talk to. Look for groups of odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, or even one person standing on their own. Go and talk to the person. Walk up and talk to them. Like how Pearl came up to speak to me because I was on my own. It's really important to know that. So don't be a wallflower. People that are not from your business or your company, even in your field. Try and talk to other people. That's how you network. You make friends. Then if you notice what I'm holding, make sure you have your cup and your refreshments, your little plate of refreshments in your left hand. Another thing, you leave your house, eat. Eat! So that you don't go there hungry. You guys have seen the buffet lines where person will pack cake on top of eba, on top of a 4, on top. It's funny, but it happens all the time. Or 3 or 4 plates. Put everything in your left hand. The reason for this is so that your right hand is free and that you can shake hands and do other things. Try and eat before you go. Because I bet you the minute you pop something into your mouth, that somebody is going to want to ask you a question. On this same holiday that I went on, I was invited for dinner. And because I like to be early, I got there like 30 minutes early. I got into the area like 30 minutes early. So as I was walking about, admiring the houses, the buildings, I saw there was an exhibition. It was an art exhibition for NFTs. We have an idea what NFTs are, non-fungible tokens. And I just heard about NFTs, so I was really fascinated. I'd read the story of the Nigerian boy that took a picture of the drummer in Ibadan and now posted it. So I wanted to know what this thing. So, exhibitions like that, they usually don't have maybe like a guest list. People had even spilled onto the pavement. So I entered, and they were serving free champagne. So, of course, I entered, meandered my way to the back where they were serving the free champagne. I smiled at the server very nicely. He gave me a full glass of champagne. He was serving people half full, but for me, he gave me a full glass. And I walked around the whole place looking at what it was. Then I noticed a group of 3 people standing. So I went to meet them. I said, hello, hello. And then I asked question, how did you get to come here? We spoke a little bit. We shook hands and they told me their names. So that was really great practice for me to even put into practice what it is that I teach. And people are always people are curious about people. They want to know about you. So they will talk to you. So it's up to you now to just kill the shyness in you and go for it. So, do we have another slide? Next slide, please. So this is a formal table setting. It has this one. If you notice, there's a difference with this one and that one. So this is something that I would encourage everyone to get. I think I've got some of them here to use for yourself to set your table at home. For all of us that have homes, you can give it to your help. So even if you're busy, you're going to have guests over, you can set the table. If you've got kids, it's really good for your children as well to learn the proper table setting. And it's just something good for you to practice so that when you're invited to dinner, you know what cutlery is yours and what cut is not yours. So for dining, like I said, is the first thing that people will know your background, how you eat. Most, I'm sure our moms have taught us, eat with your mouth, don't talk when you are eating. How are you holding your glass? Wine glasses, everything from the tip. So it's sometimes not even formal dinner. It's when you go out to drink or you have coffee with your colleague, doing that. So this is a very, very important aspect. So moving on, the next slide, please. I hope nobody missed out what I'll say. Can I get the next set of slides? We can do the next set of slides. Then after that, I'll just take your questions, your clarifications, and your comments. We're going to talk a little about public speaking. So a lot of us always think public speaking is a big deal and when we public speaking. But what I'm doing right now is public speaking. And what you've done also when you are meeting other people, talking to people, is actually public speaking. So how many of us have had to give presentations at work? How many of us have had to talk in court? Yeah. Well, like, that's public speaking. We always like to think it's a big deal. Right? It's more than what it is, but it's all public speaking. Yes, that's it. So a lot of us don't have the what's that called now? We may not have the wit. We may not have the jokes. Get our message across, and that's the most important thing. Remember what we spoke about communication, communicating clearly, setting out your ideas. So the whole essence is, if you've ever had to give a presentation, it's almost like arranging your thoughts, what you want to pass across, and that's basically what the foundation for public speaking is. Can I get the next slide, please? Next slide, please. I'm sure we've also had, so what it is just talking in front of people. So the one that you do in the room, Like I said, you speak to people. That is public speaking. So it's a live audience that is listening to you. Can I get the next slide, please? So the elements of public speaking. Please press again. Go ahead, keep pressing it. So the speaker, which is you, the listener, always imagine the people you're talking to. That's like one of the important steps in public speaking. Please keep pressing it. For instance, if you were going to speak to a group of market women, you will not be using Queen's English, Abby. You'll be speaking pidgin and giving examples that are, that are close to them. Please keep pressing it. I want all the elements to come out. Yeah. So even the situation, anything that impedes the communication of the message, NEPA going, light going, microphone dying, all those are also impeding. But they're all things that you take in consideration when you're doing your public speaking. So the channel by which it means the message is passed, interference, listener message. What do they want? What do you want your audience to take away with you? Remember what I said in the beginning, that etiquette is wide, but I want you to take a few things that you can implement immediately that will make a change. Next slide, please. Of course, feedback are the questions, comments, and even when I'm looking at you, even your body language can give me a feedback as to how you're feeling about what I'm saying. Next one, please. So the greatest orators, people with their words, they've caused wars with their words. For instance, Ukraine and Russia, words, because of words and maybe very few actions, there's a war going on right now. We've had someone like Martin Luther King, the civil rights, because of his words. But some of you are moved by even modern day orators here. Can I have, who has moved you recently? A modern day orator that has moved you to action. Who else? Somebody is moving people right now. Just by what he said. So even you've got your men of religion, you've got your actors. When there's a problem with all the people investing in maybe buying land in XYZ places, it's because some people came up and kind of advocated on their behalf, or go and buy the land there. Me, I have 5. How many of your friends have taken you through the wrong path? Just by telling you stuff. So there's so many different orators. This particular man,
I'm thinking that there is a particular way we should keep our spoon or fork to tell that we are done.
So what, like I did say in the beginning, etiquette is very wide. So what she's talking about is with the Silver Service Code, and there's a way, the post position. Imagine this was your knife, and this was your fork. So when you put them together on your plate like this, it shows that you're satisfied, you're done. But when you leave them open like this, it shows that you've just paused and you're coming back to eat. Now, the server clearing your plate is because they're probably not familiar with this and have not been trained with it. Because I was at a party and I was eating, I was still targeting my chicken that I was going to come back and finish it. And by the time I came back, they cleared my plate, even though I put it in the pause position, indicating that I was going to come back. So, that's it. Any more questions? Go ahead.
So my question is actually with network. Some of hardships I experience while networking is the personalities of the people you're talking to. So some people are very introverted, and then you're trying to get them out of shells so that they can get somewhat familiar place, and then you can start proposing business ideas and all that. But the struggle that I have is, for example, when you talk as like, yes, Thank you. Fine. So how do you keep that conversation going? Do you have any tips that someone can benefit from?
As a prosecutor, you do examination in chief, you do cross-examination. The questions you should be asking in order to elicit more of a conversation are as if open-ended, as if you're doing a cross-examination. So instead of saying, do you like it here? You ask, what do you like about it here? Or what do you like? You know, questions that will elicit a conversation are not just one-word answers. And sometimes people just don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. So that's what I also say, that if people don't want to talk to you or the conversation is over, leave the person feeling pleasant about you. So you can say, well, I did enjoy that. Oh, it was lovely talking to you. Oh, thank you for talking to me. I'm going to move on, you know, somebody else. That's it. Any more questions?
Hey everyone, thank you. So my question borders on introduction. In the format you explained, the pata format. The first thing you said we should say that the passion. What's wrong with a mother of four talking about that? You said, people just say I'm a mother of four, but really I think some women, that's all they live for, mothering. And now they call it, some people say I'm a home engineer, my passion is mothering my kids. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I don't do it. I don't think they should be prejudiced if they introduce themselves that way, if that is their passion. It's just an observation, maybe.
Thank you for that. And that's a great observation. There's some people that is their passion. But remember, we want, and it wasn't for introductions. It was actually when you're telling people about yourself. And we want something that's interesting about you. So even if that is your passion, that's what you like to do, at least say something else that is as in, what's that word now? Like say something that is a fallout or that's a carry on from there. That, oh, I maybe in staying at home, I wrote a book or I launched this product. You know, it's up to you. And being a stay-at-home mom or mother of four is fine. But, you know, we can do more. We can do more. We can do more. Any other person?
So, because of time, and I am trying to plead with her to join us for lunch, because we are going to have lunch now. And I'm pleading with her to just spend like 10 minutes with us, you know, while we hold our forks and we hold our spoons, to just correct us. So this is like another form of practical for us. So thank you so much again, Ma. Please, a round of applause again. All right, guys, I hope you learned a lot as much as I did. This is the end of our second session. Our speaker for the third session is around. That's going to be on negotiation in the entertainment industry, but that's going to happen after lunch. So we're going to have a brief 30 to 45-minute break, and we'll come back for the third session. Please, lunch is served, so please go down right away and have lunch. To our online viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in another 45 minutes. Thank you very much. 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 I'm sorry, mediation advocate in the UK is a trained mediator on the panel of neutrals for the Federal High Court, also for the Lagos State Multi-Door Courthouse and the Edo State Multi-Door Courthouse, the Lagos State Court of Arbitration, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and International Arbitration. The list is endless. Please, a round of applause for Lala.
Thank you so much. So how do I control the slide? So I'll just be saying next, next, next.